Hey guys, you have Bex here. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. Today we're going to start with exfoliation and cleansing. We are combining the Caudalie Paris Buffing Gentle Cream and the Decleor Paris Aroma Cleansing Foam. This foam is a 3-in-1 Hydra Radiance Smoothing and Cleansing Mousse. It contains neroli essential oils for moisture and is okay to use on all skin types. It has no parabens, and the Gentle Buffing Creams by Caudalie are good to use on sensitive skin. Then I just rinse it off and gently pat dry with a towel. For our moisturizer today, we will be using the Natura Bisé from Barcelona C+C Vitamin Cream. It has an SPF 10 and the ingredients within are kosher grade, so they are very high quality and very healthy for the skin. And we're going to move on to eye cream, which is by Dr. Perricone, the Firming Eye Cream. This cream is hypoallergenic, so very good to use on sensitive skin. For brows, I use the Cover FX Cream Concealer in Neutral Medium and the Dip Brow Pomade by Anastasia. Now I'm taking the MAC 24-Hour Eyelid Primer with the Sigma E25 blending brush and just putting it all over my lids, my transition area, and lower eye area as well. Now we're going to use the Lorac Santa Monica Your LA Experience Eyeshadow Palette. We are going to use the NYX blending brush in the number 17. And we're going to grab that bungalow shade with that brush and apply it in the transition and crease area. Moving on to the Lorac Unzipped Gold Eyeshadow Palette, we will be using the lighter shade Undeniable and applying it to the crease area and onto the upper lid. Picking up the shade Unwind, we will go over the same area in a straight line and go over with the Sigma E25 brush just to blend all those shades out. And with a clean, angled, fluffy blending brush, we are just going to blend that color up into the brow bone. With the pointed contour brush, we will pick up Twilight Tide and apply that in the inner corners of our lids. Using that same brush, we're going to pick up the color Unedited in the Unzipped Gold palette by Lorac. And we will apply that in the outer corner of our lids and blend it out with the Sigma E25 brush. Remember not to spread the color too far out. Moving on, we will be using the Dose of Color Mint to Be Ideal Duo cream shadow that comes with a pigment. First we apply the cream base and then we apply the pigment. And we are only applying in the center of the lid and blending our way out. Be careful, these pigments are super creamy and can be very thick. Next, we're going to curl our lashes with the Kevyn Aucoin Eyelash Curler. And prime our lashes using the Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara by Too Faced. And I always like to add an extra layer of the MAC Bold and Bad Lash. And don't forget to use a smaller brush to get into the inner corners, outer corners, and lower lash line. Now we are going to take an angled fluffy blending brush, picking up that bungalow shade once more and blending up into the transition area without disturbing the Mint to Be pigment. And we're going to use Miss Adoro lashes in the number 99 using our waterproof black duo eyelash adhesive. So you want to apply the center of the lash first, then the outer corner, then the inner corner. Then I use the other side of my BioSwiss tweezers to push up on my lashes and help them stay curled. Next, we are taking the Cover FX Radiance Drops to remove any fallout under the eyes. And for our foundation, we'll be using the Kevyn Aucoin Etherealist and the Luster Drops from MAC in a combination. For my applicator, I'll be using the Cream Shop Sponge because it gives me a sheer and buildable coverage with this illuminating skin foundation. And I am using downward dabbing motions to help blend out any imperfections in my skin. Don't forget to go over the higher area of the cheekbone to remove any fallout of eyeshadow. Also blend out the color into the hairline to avoid any color discrepancies and inconsistencies. Now that I've achieved the overall coverage that I wanted, I'll be going in with the Mineralized Concealer from MAC in the shade NC42 in my under eye, in my laugh lines, and any blemishes that I have. And again, I'm going in with the Cream Shop sponge just to blend everything out. After going over my complexion makeup and making sure it is streakless, I'm going in with the Cover FX Mattifying Setting Powder, which is talc free, so it will not give me flashback and it will not dry out my skin. I am going to primarily set the areas around my eyes first and then come back to the rest later. Next, I'll be moving on to the MAC Studio Quick Trick Stick. It is a duo stick with a bronzer sculpting color named Earth Nut, and I'm going to blend that out into the depth of my cheekbone with the sponge. Once my cheekbones are all chiseled out, I'm going to chisel out my jawline and apply this bronzer shade on the higher area of my forehead and blend it into my hairline. After that, I'll be applying the highlighting shade Bake End onto the higher areas of my cheekbone and blending it out. You can also use this on the bridge of your nose and your cupid's bow for extra illumination. Once we are done blending out our liquid and cream foundations, we are going to use the MAC Juicy Fruity Beyond Bronze bronzing powder with the fan brush by MAC, which is the number 184. Next, we will be picking up the MAC Juicy Fruity Delphic Studio Sculpt Defining Bronzing Powder with the Elina Badro Blush Brush and apply that to the apples of the cheeks. After that, we will contour using the Kat Von D Shed and Light Powder Contour Kit and the Angled Contour Brush by MAC, which is the number 168. Apply it in the depths of your cheekbone, underneath your bottom lip to make it appear fuller, and on your jawline. Then we're going to set our powders with the Juicy Fruity Coconut Mist Fix Plus by MAC. And for our highlight, we'll be using the Santa Monica Silicone Beach Highlighter, which is in the Your LA Experience palette by Lorac. With a small shader brush, go ahead and apply the Silicone Beach highlighter on your brow bone, the bridge of your nose, your cupid's bow, the water duct to apply extra illumination. For more smooth blending, I'm going to apply the highlighter with a shader brush and blend it out with the Japanesque blending brush. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit more of the Bonsai bronzer. Using a small shader eyeshadow brush by MAC, I'm picking up the lightest shade in the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D, and I'm using it to chisel out the sides of my nose. Then I'm picking up the darkest shade and applying it underneath the front area of my nose to make that area look less prominent. Using a pointed contour brush, I am picking up the shade Bungalow and applying it in my lower lash line. With that same brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Farmer's Market and apply it in the inner lower corners of my lash line. And then I'm going to go over my lower lashes using the smaller brush by the Bold and Bad Lash by MAC. Now to prime my lips, I'll be using the Burt's Bees Pomegranate Chapstick, and I'll also be applying the Santa Monica blush in Sunset Yoga on the apples of my cheeks using the Elina Badro blush brush. Once the Burt's Bees has set in, I'll be using the MAC Burnt Spice Liquid Lip Color. Next, I'll be using the MAC lip pencil in Hover just to line my lips and to add a bit of a contour to the shape of my lips. Alright guys, and after the lip, that's about it. That's the look for the day. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Remember, all these products, the Lorac Santa Monica palette and the Lorac Unzipped palette, you can get both of these at Namie's in Sherman Oaks. If you're a cosmetologist, makeup artist, hairstylist, please come in. You guys get some kind of discount off these products. Thank you again so much. Please subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment with any questions that you guys have. Alright, talk to y'all later. Bye.